everybody. Let me make sure the audio's okay. Wow, it seems kind of quiet. Let's see. Let's check. Let me know if you guys can't hear me. It seems quieter than usual. Maybe I messed with the settings on accident. Well, let me just check here. All that looks right. Oh, you know what? It's it's my headphones. Okay, we're good. So this is Red Ben. You can find me on Twitter at RedBenTrader if you want to learn more about the futures trading room I trade in and the algo I use that we all use in the trading room. Talk to my coach Simon. It's trade letter N word perform at gmail.com. It is Thursday, July 27th, 2023. Today was exciting. It started out kind of typical. I'll show you on this view here. Let me turn some of these signals off. We don't need this or this. So we had a big gap up overnight, opened and tried to run higher, tested above the Voodoo range level 15,896.50, found sellers, rejected. And then you can see how we negotiated this whole range a couple times. This was where I made most of my money today. It was actually a move down and then back up again. And then here, I didn't do perfectly in here, but I got at least one of these. Then there was some news, Bank of Japan making some changes to their yield curve control, and that occurred during this little rollover, and it just accelerated. I wish I could say I did well in this, because in retrospect, I definitely see I could have. I hesitated a lot with the shorts. I was not adjusting to the speed. There's a lot of things I did wrong. Let's say that, but I made it out okay. It's not like I had a horrible day or anything. I had made enough in the morning and was had transitioned to just using the Apex evaluation. So I probably should have taken it a little more seriously, but to be honest, because of I had already traded well in the morning and kind of put away the real money accounts, I I kind of played around a little bit. And in retrospect, I really wish I would have recognized that, because this move actually makes sense. I talked about it yesterday that when we consolidated into range, and then we came down towards the low at the end of the day but couldn't breach it, and we left the area, and I had said I don't really trust that low. We'll probably come down there again. I thought it might happen by the end of the day, but I said who knows, it could happen tomorrow or Friday or whatever. Well, when we left the area, I kind of forgot about that, and I figured well, if we come back in here, we've already left the area multiple times, so we're probably just going to bounce because we already tested down here. But yeah, I should have stuck with my original plan, which was to expect this low to get tested. I just got a little biased by the gap, I guess, and was I wasn't buying it all the way down here, but I was expecting them to buy it. Let's put it that way. And so I'd hesitate. I didn't want to short because I was oh, they could buy the value area high of the area, and then came back a little lower, and it's oh well, we got this level. This might get bought, and then they'd buy it a little bit, and I'd get ready to buy it again, and then it would rip down again. I'm well, I guess I just missed the entire move. That's too bad. But it's especially frustrating. Like I said, I'm glad I did well in the morning and that I traded my real accounts in the morning, because I would have been really frustrated if I would have given all that back. But the really irritating part is that, like I said, in retrospect, after looking it over a little bit, I had plenty of opportunities here to have a really good day. I just couldn't flip my brain fast enough to accept that we could actually come all the way back down. It's better than getting railroaded and trying over and over again to buy it. Although I did try a few times, but learned pretty quickly that I'm just gonna have to wait. And then Ronnie in the room caught this trade, and by that point I was just kind of I was frustrated with myself for missing all these, and had taken a short late that got stopped out, and I'm like, you know what am I doing? Like I missed, the only reason I'm shorting is because I know I missed the move. Like obviously, like I shouldn't be trading this like 6 hours long after having like a really good morning. I should just quit. I don't want to take another trade. And then he got a monster long that would have like brought that account back to break even. So it's just like, oh man. But that's how it goes. And I will say, whenever you have like, even if it's not like, I mean, whether or not it's a rough P&L day or just like a poor execution day, like in this case, like my P&L survived just fine, but that sense of like, wow, this could have been huge. I could have qualified that account easily, uh, had I just followed the plan and been accepting of the fact that speed had changed, characters changed, and everything I saw said it was bearish. But like I said, I was so like, I guess I was just scared of like getting stuck, which is like not really rational, because like if you take a stop, you take a stop. But I'll show you, it should have been pretty easy if you accepted that it was going to go lower. I just didn't, and yeah, whether or not you actually like blow up account or just get frustrated with yourself, it's really important. You don't have to do it right away, but like eventually go back and like look it over and be like, okay, where's my executions? Like, what was I thinking? What did I miss? Like, how, if this exact same situation came up again, how could I approach it differently? Because otherwise, like, what's the point, right? Like, we need to learn from these experiences. Otherwise, it's just pain all the time. So in looking it over on the algo, I found something really neat that I'm going to use from now on for decision making. Let me start with the easier view. So let's do this one. Still a lot of lines and colors and stuff, but not as many. So the first thing I want to show you, I was talking to another member about how to interpret the pink and purple bars. Those are super important for finding trades. Let me just make sure that this is all calculated correctly so I don't make a mistake here, because I wasn't looking at this one today. Yeah, like understanding how to use them and how to interpret them is really important. And I realized that there's actually something that is even more powerful that I completely like kind of forgot about. I knew about it, but I hadn't been applying it, and I realized had I just thought about that today, it would have come in handy a lot. So let me show you how this works. So it's a Renko chart. This is NQ, and each Renko bar is 24 ticks to in either direction to print a bar. So if a bar has a wick on the top, it's a bearish bar. If a bar has a wick on the bottom, it's a bullish bar. So what we want to look for, just to simplify things, is if we have a purple bar, which are always going to be bearish, okay, we can't be bullish about the market unless we get the VPOC, the yellow line, the VPOC of the bars where most of the volume is, or sorry, the price with the most volume. If we get the VPOC above the purple bar and we hold the VPOC above the purple bar. Now, there is one exception, and that is if we dip the VPOC into the range of the purple bar or below it on another purple bar, then it's fine. But no bearish bars, with no VPOCs on bearish bars can go back into the purple bar's range. And if that happens, we know we're bullish for the time being until we get the reversed signals. So in this case, for instance, on the arrow bar, the yellow line is not yet above the purple bar's high, so it's not clearly bullish. But by the triangles and the plus bar, the VPOC is clearly above it, so it is bullish. Now, if this was pink, we would need to wait to see if they hold it and extend one more bar to be safe. But if we have other reason to think it's bullish, chances are it is. But when it starts to get choppy, or if it's bearish on higher time frames, it's going to give us a lot of pink bars at the highs like this. And sometimes it'll be pink and then bearish. So you have to be a little careful of the pink bars, and I'll show you how that works. So the like I said, the pink and the purple bars having the VPOC above other pink and purple bars, not that important, but white bars getting above purple bars when their VPOC is above the high, it is a clear confirmation, as long as that stays up there, that it's going to be bullish for the time being. So the inverse is also true. If you have a pink bar, oops, and you can get a VPOC on a bearish brown bar underneath the pink bar, for the time being, it will be bearish. So the assumption should be that it's bearish until you get the reversal signal, right? Until you get the inverse. But if it's a purple bar or a bullish bar with the VPOC below the pink bar, nothing changes. So for instance, here we would look and we see we've got two. Oh, and this is only for pink bars that have not yet been fully retraced. So like for instance here, we'll just back up a little bit just so we can see some pink ones. So see how it, that when, if we were here, right, these two pink bars had not been retraced, but this one was, right? So on this bar, the star down, if you look where the VPOC is, right, it's not under the pink bar, so we're not bearish. Then the next bar is bullish, so even if it wasn't pink, it wouldn't matter. It's still not bearish because it's a bullish bar, so it doesn't matter. And now we've gone higher, so we're actually holding above the pink bar. So at this point, we're pretty sure it's bullish. We can't get under a pink bar with VPOC on a bearish bar. And so it continues to go higher. Now we've got another pink bar that we have to hold. So now VPOC is up here. This is a bearish bar, but VPOC has not gotten below the low of the pink bar. And then here it's close. I don't think it quite has. And now it definitely has gotten the VPOC line below a pink bar on a bearish bar. Now it's not time to short, right? It's just the potential for a reversal is there. What has to happen now is VPOC now needs to stay under pink bars and also above purple bars if they show up. So when the next bar lifts us up, you can see that we still have, we have to get it back all the way back up here. But for the time being, it's not yet confirmed. There's no sell signal. It's just like, be ready for a sell signal. If we got a bear bar after this, or two bear bars after this, it would probably be a sell. Instead, we lift, and then we get a bear bar, but look, VPOC is back inside the pink bar's range. So we don't want to short again unless we get it back. And now we got another pink bar, so now we have to get it under this one, right? It gets down there. Now it's under that one. Okay, now we have to hold this one, right? But that's purple, so that doesn't count. Now it's bullish, that doesn't count. Still no sell signal. Okay, now we've gotten above a purple bar, right? So now it's definitely not bearish, and if we hold above this purple bar, it could be bullish. Now, there's one more little wrinkle, and that, I know it's already a little confusing, but this is pretty neat, and I didn't realize this till today, is a star bar, a bar with a star, the bodies of the star bar, even if they're not pink or purple, can actually also act as pink or purple bars. So for instance, if we do that one more time, this one's got a star on it. So this body is going to be just like a purple bar, okay? Which means if we get a VPOC above it and then hold it above the body of the star on a bullish bar, it's bullish, right? So here, VPOC's down here, so nothing to do. Now that one's pink, so that won't count. But that one is above the body of a star, and it's bullish. So now all we need is a buy signal, which that isn't. But we would, and now here it's going to come back. It's going to go through the pink bar, so there's nothing to do. Now we're looking for sell signals, right? That we don't get that either, and we keep waiting. So there's nothing to do here is what that means, and that will keep me away from trading this choppiness where I don't know which way to go. It's basically saying there's no reason to like be extra. There's no confirmation that we're going one way or another. I mean, you can see that we're kind of going higher, but we haven't had a signal to get long or short when the VPOC is above a purple bar or a star down body or below a pink bar or a pink bar's upstar's body. So like even though this one got below a pink bar and got below a star down, we're looking for a short, but we don't get it. If it showed up right here, we short, but there's no short here. So we wait, we get star up, right? So this, if we get a triangle down, would be a short, but we don't get triangle down because the arrow is not a entry for me. I would need at least triangle up and then the arrow and then triangle down. So then we get another pink bar. So now we have to get it under that to be bearish, right? And we do. Okay. So this would really be like the very most aggressive way to get short, but I don't have a clear entry here because I don't have a star triangle up here, but it is now looking more bearish than bullish. Okay. And then it gets a purple bar. We get, oh, we don't get above it yet. There. Now we're above the purple bar, right? So now we definitely don't want to be short. So if we were short, we want to get out and we want to be looking for buy signals. Okay. This one is not, it technically could be purple bar, bullish bar, triangle up with a plus bar is a bullish scalp entry, but we're not located at the bottom at support. It's not ideal. It's not wrong. It's just aggressive. So you could take it. It's just not going to work 70% of the time. Now we've pulled back, right, with a wick and printed another bullish bar. At this point, there's no question it's bullish. So if we weren't going right into resistance, this is where I would be thinking, okay, like I should be long here. I just need an entry. But here, unfortunately, the target's here and your entry here just wouldn't make sense with your stop down here. So I can't take that, but it's definitely not short. And then if we get VPOC on either side of these, on a non-pink or purple bar, we would start to think we could have more confirmation or get a reversal signal. Pink's not going to do anything other than make the bearish option happen if we get under it. Okay, that's, like I said, that's very close. That one's clearly under it, and we have triangle up, triangle down, so that would be a very aggressive short, right? Because it is technically a short entry, and it has gotten a VPOC underneath pink bars. The problem with this one is there's an unretraced pink bar here that's potentially going to act as support. So it's better to wait until that is taken out. In addition, if there was a star up down here, we'd have to take out his body as well, because until you travel through that range, it can act as support. So in this case, it does act as support, which is like a pretty clear indication that it's probably bullish. And so if you wanted to use this pink bar, you could say, okay, well, we're staying above that. Are we above this star? Not yet. So let's see if we can get above that star. We do, but it's on a pink bar. So unless you had triangle down, triangle up, it's bullish, but like, I don't have a great way to get this. This isn't a perfect spot to show it, but technically, if this wasn't pink, you could get long there, but let's just wait and I'll show you where this is really helpful is at the reversal. So here, purple, right? So now we have to get above that to be bullish, but if we get VPOC below this, we know we're bearish. But we do have likely support here. So if you already knew on a higher time frame that you were bullish, which you probably would here, I didn't mention this, but I could. So here, if you already knew you were bullish because you've been watching the market and you see that it's gone straight up, basically, you expect in bullish markets that this pink bar will hold. So if you want to wait to see if that holds and then take triangle up here, it's off process, but it's probably going to work a lot, right? And I've got arrow up and then triangle down, triangle up. So I can technically do it. It's just the risk reward's not very good. You have to have a reason to think that it's going to go a heck of a lot higher. And I'm not supposed to do that because it's kind of a bad habit. So technically, it's not an entry, but do I kind of know it's going higher? Yeah. Okay, so here we got above purple, right? So as long as we hold above this, I can get long now. So a nice little pullback and then a triangle up would get me long. They're not going to give it to me. But I know not to short because I can't get under these pink bars. Or yeah, the pink bars. Now this one got unretraced, left unretraced. This one's left unretraced, right? So those are potential supports that we have to be. They won't always stop the market, but you have to be aware of them. And so if it holds above pink bars like this, like do not short, right? Okay, now we have to get above that for confirmation that it's long. Then that one's above, and it's a triangle up. So again, if you're momentum trading, it's an entry. Is it going to go very far? It's going to totally depend on where you are on the chart. But I know it's bullish here, right? So that's not going to go very far. And if you momentum trade, only about 30% of those are going to work. So now we had this pink bar, but it already got retraced, right? But remember, to be bullish, we need to hold above the purple bars. So technically, if we can hold this and not put a VPOC on a non-purple bear bar down here, we might actually get an entry long. And we do not. If that would have been a triangle up, that'd be an entry. Oh, this is a... No, it's not a star. This one is. So now, to be long, we need to be above this with VPOC. And if... Well, we don't have an unretraced star or pink bar to get short, technically, but you could potentially still use this. But for sure, under here, you're bearish. So purple bar... Now we have to get up above that to be bullish. And yeah, really both of these. But if you... Technically, it's one of them. But it could act as resistance. So you certainly don't want to see this if you thought you were bullish, because now it's looking bearish, right? Now we've clearly gotten a bear bar, actually below purple bars, not just pink bars. And if we get under this, it's confirmed that we've broken down under a untested pink bar. Okay, so it holds. So normally this would be an entry for me, but now I know I should at least wait until I break above. Sorry, I've got a star here. So if this star's body, if I can get a VPOC above that, or a VPOC above this, then I have a chance of being long. Until then, I don't want to be long. Okay, so this does get the VPOC above the star's body, and it doesn't quite get it above this purple bar, but it usually, if you get it over one of those and you're with the trend, especially considering that we held this. See how we couldn't get the VPOC below it on a bear bar, but we did, and then we got a bull bar. That's usually a long for me. Again, is it perfect? No, but it's good enough. And now I should not be surprised if this acts as resistance. Okay, and now let me just erase the lines. How do I know to be short? Well, I got to get under this with VPOC, and now to be bullish, I got to get over that. So with a non-pink or purple bar. All right, now I probably want to be over that to be bullish. So I definitely want to be out of my buy. If I was in, I'd be out now. And now I have to get above that at least. And I need a non-purple bar to get me under here. Yeah, see, that's unfortunate. They're not going to set me up. So now it's clearly bearish, right? So what I would like is to see this star up here, that body. I want to see this hold. And if it technically did here, but if I can get a one bar up, or maybe a bar and a wick, and then a down signal, that'd be a good bear setup. But I don't think it's going to set up here. It just kind of fell quickly, but that's all right. So now to be bullish, I'd have to get above that. So, and it needs to be a non-pink bar with VPOC. There we go. So I've gotten VPOC above this body. If I was short, like up here, I want to be out of that short, and I could consider getting long. And if you look here, this one got retraced by this wick. So really, our resistance is here. So my risk reward is not too bad for a long. And that one's gonna fail. Yep, fail. Okay, and some of them are gonna go stop. So here again, bearish if I get under this. Bullish now needs to get over that. And neither one there, and that's another purple bar. So we have to wait technically, and that one's purple too. There we go. Okay, now definitely bearish, right? And to be bullish, I gotta get over that, and this is probably going to act as resistance. So I might not even really want to take a bull trade here. And now, in reality, what I do is I go down to the 15 tick to find my entry. But this should technically work on any time frame to get you the reversal. It's just to the downside sometimes. It's just not going to set up this way. But it usually will decrease. It would have decreased my mistakes today had I just followed these rules. So that's now resistance. You could technically short that. That one got retraced. On this time frame, it's just not going to set up because we didn't get a star down here. On the smaller one we did, and then you could have gotten a lift. But this is probably resistance. Okay, now I definitely don't want to be short unless I get under that. Okay, or under that, or under that. So see how they actually broke right through here? So these are gone now. This one, we never got a VPOC, if you look, above the high of this purple bar. So on a big time frame, it's still bearish, right? So, and then I've got a pink bar right here. So this is where I want to see triangle down for a short. That would be the ideal. There, that's like very high odds short there. My first target needs to be here because that's where it could set up long, but it doesn't have to. But that one's going to work a ton. And then now see how this got retraced and then got bearish. If you think about it, that means it can't really set up bullish here. So you could technically add. Like I said, don't tell my coach, but that's technically you could add back if you took profits here and then you saw this like, meh, I'm doing it. And so yeah, this is now potential resistance. Now we got a star up, right? So we don't want to be bearish if we get the VPOC up there. So we don't have to exit yet, but if we get a non-pink bull bar after this, it'll probably lift the VPOC up there and we can exit our short. There. So definitely out of the short. And if you look, the very first opportunity to get long really doesn't happen until up here. So even though this is an apex trap and it looks like a really good entry, I can save if I want to be selective, I can wait because it's possible that you get in here and the very next wick just rolls you over. And if the conditions are such that that's what you're worried about, it's not going to be 100%, but as you saw, you can still get stops, but it'll keep you safe most of the time. You're just going to miss some good trades. So here, like I said, you wouldn't know to get in here until this one, and that you'd need a pullback and that held to really get long. So you end up missing this trade unless you went down to the smaller time frame, which it sets up more, and I'll show you that if you want. So now we can't be bearish unless we get a VPOC under that. And so this is where you want it to set up, triangle down, and then bull bar, triangle up, and you can get long. But instead, oh, they held it. There we go. So see how the pink bar never got a VPOC below it? So now if we get triangle up, we're already above a purple bar. And these have now been retraced. So in fact, this bar is a better entry win rate wise than this bar. So I don't know if it works. And this has also been retraced. So we have really no clear resistance here. I don't know if it works, but this is this one. This is the only spot you got to beat. So you could wait for the triangle just to be sure. Yeah, I was gonna say maybe we should wait. Yeah. Okay, but still purple only, right? Am I wrong? This one was unretraced. We got purple under it. We don't have any more pink bars. So it's bullish unless you get under this. And again, we didn't get the triangle. You technically should wait for the triangle when you have a purple bar in your way. Look how they did retrace it though. So now that's gone. And now we just have to beat this. So a triangle should be bullish. There we go. Oh, it didn't get VPOC above it. That's too bad. So technically it could still fail. It probably works though. There. Now it's clearly bullish. So if you want to get in half here, and then once you see VPOC lift up over there and they close it, it's got smooth sailing now. And see how they give you an opportunity on the smaller time frame to get a better entry? That's what I'm doing. So when this bar is that's what I want to do. When this bar prints, I want to go down to 15 tick and take that entry, the triangle that shows up here, but on this bar it's just a wick. On this time frame, I mean, right there, this one is what I think is the better entry. And then you get this, right? So you get one stop, but like the ones that do work really well. And look, you know not to cover because you haven't gotten under a pink bar. So you can just hold it, right? And you're still holding it as long as that holds. Now you got a bear bar, but you still haven't gotten VPOC underneath it. And there's a chance that this is support down here, right? So you could hold it, or at least some of it. But we still have not gotten the VPOC above this one. So it's just that same support resistance. The only bar that we got above it was pink, right? And you really need a bull bar. So on the higher time frame, it's probably not bullish. So you might just want to get rid of it, but I'll show you where you're sure. That's purple. Technically, you should wait and see. Yeah, then they break it. So that's bullish. Oh, maybe not. Now it's only bullish if it gets over that. Okay, definitely out now, right? Fully out. And you've gotten under a pink bar, right? You've gotten under a pink bar. And I've got an entry. I've got a triangle, so you could actually short it. And I've got no pink bars till here. Yep, and that's exactly where it goes. And so that'd be at least my first exit. And then they give us purple, and they give above it, right? So if that's an entry signal for you, you could get in, but you definitely want to be not short. And if you need to wait for the triangle, then wait for the triangle, and it doesn't come. So if you're more conservative, wait for the triangle. You'll always have a better win rate. Note they did cover this area, so now the drop can be bigger. So if you want, triangle down can get you short. Right there. That's the short. And did we get VPOC above this purple bar? Nope. So no reason to get out. Stay short. Stay short as long as you get VPOC under that. Under that. Okay, there. Now we want to be out, right? And if that's an entry for you, we're above a purple bar. But we do have purple bar right here. So you might want to wait for the triangle to be conservative. And you don't get it. And then, now it's bullish as long as we hold that. And we do. So if that's an entry for you, that's all good because we printed a pink bar. So it can't be bearish unless we get VPOC under that, right? So if you have this as an entry signal, or you have an entry signal on a smaller time frame now, you can get long. There we go. And now, because it really can't be bearish unless we take these out with VPOC. Staying long. And again, remember this one, we never beat it. I guess it'd be a purple. So we need to beat this with VPOC to get beyond. See, we don't. And we get a bear bar. It's probably done. So I'd at least be out of most because now it can't be bullish unless we beat that. And it does not look like we're going to do that. So I'm probably out of the long, but it's only a short if the VPOC gets under the pink bar on a non-purple bar. So nothing. And now that's bullish because we got above purple triangle up, or triangle down, arrow, triangle up is a pretty good long for me. Technically, the higher time frame is now bullish. Look how they got VPOC above that. So this is probably your better breakout. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so have we gotten above this purple bar? Yes. So higher time frame, still bullish. But smaller time frame, don't really want to be bullish unless we get above that. If it wasn't purple, it'd be here, but it's purple. So might want to get out of your longs and be prepared for shorts, but we don't have a pink bar to short off of. So now, did this one get under purple? No. But interestingly, it's another star. So if you think about it, you can't be bullish unless you get over this. So if you get extension here, it's bearish. So if that's an entry for you, you can probably get short because now your stop goes here, right? And again, I'd probably find it on a smaller time frame, but this would keep me safe. Now it's bullish as long as I hold that. But the closest purple bar, see how there's a little bit of wick here, is right there. So my expectancy isn't great. I'd probably skip it, honestly. But yeah, it's technically long. They did not break it with VPOC. It's probably short. To be sure, wait till you get under... Oh, this one got retraced. You'd have to get under this to be sure. Let's see. And now you'd be pretty sure now because now you've got to get over that to be bullish. So if that's an entry for you, is it like super high odds? No, but you know it can't be bullish unless this gets taken. So, and there we go. Now it's clearly bearish, right? And you can see that you would have had to get over this to be bullish. You still have it. So there, now you have to get over that body to be bullish with VPOC. There, we do it. So don't be short, right? It's not an entry for me, but if we get a triangle up that's not pink, that is. Otherwise, if we just hold this and then get a triangle later, that'd be fine too. But if we keep going down, then it's not bullish. So now I gotta be getting above that to be thinking bullish, and they give me a sell signal, so it's probably bearish. We probably could do the same thing over here, and we could say that we've now gotten on the bigger time frame of VPOC below this set of pink bars, so it's probably bearish on a higher time frame as well. Oh, whoops, I went too far. So this got it under here, right? So we'd think bearish, and I have no reason to think bullish unless I get above this. So even though it's a bull bar and a triangle up, oh, but that one's pink. So I guess I'd have to get out of my short, and I can't be short unless I beat that. But I really can't be long unless I beat that first. Oh, and they do. So now if I get a pullback, it'd be long. Like that. That one, it looks like it's going to fail. I don't know. Oh, now we have to get under that. Oh, above that. So yeah, don't be bullish. And still don't be bullish. And we're still bearish. And you can see you'd have to get all the way up there to be bullish. And that one's pink. So again, like I mess that up. You don't want to be immediately long. You just don't want to think bearish when you see that you're above pink bars. So once you see the pink, you don't really want to be bearish, but if you get under it, you are again. And in this case, I have not gotten a non-pink bar above a purple, so it's like neutral on this time frame. Now in a smaller time frame, if we get to the 15, you could do the exact same thing and have a much earlier notification. So here, you knew for sure bullish here at let's see what that is, 77.25. So by the time this triangle up closes, you know it's bullish. And so that's what's kind of interesting is like in the room, we are taught that we want this purple bar in the bottom two with the triangle up, that would be a really good entry. And it would be. It'd be an excellent entry. But what's interesting is with this rule, because on the 15 tick, there is a purple bar in the last three, and we've gotten above it with a VPOC already on a non-pink bar. Like, it's already confirmed bullish. If you wanted to wait until that, I guess you could, but a couple more points isn't going to make that much of a difference. But it would give us a lot more confidence that this is the better trade. And like even back here, like here how this one, so look how this one, like we needed to get above this, right? So by the time this is like the entry we want, but down here we got above a purple bar with VPOC here at 84. 84. Why isn't that? Let's see. Oh, because I've got it hidden. 84. So by the time we got the triangle up, we knew it was bullish. So it's almost better on a smaller time frame, but you're gonna have more stops. But like, if you can use the two together, like the trigger has to show up on the 24 tick, but the 15 tick also needs to be bullish. That might be the best of both worlds. I don't know, I just thought of that. Let me just try that real quick. That would be interesting. So if we do it on the 15 and then check for an entry on the 24. So bullish, as long as we hold that. See how we hold it? If we get a triangle up here, it's bullish for me. Hold this, hold this. Yeah, we don't get a triangle. That's too bad. Oh, these are stars. So we are bullish if we can hold above that, and we do. So now we need a bull entry basically, but it's still bullish. I'm not letting go of my contracts here. Okay, now I am, because we have a purple bar. So now I'm only bullish if I get above that, and that's probably bearish. So because is it under this? Maybe one more to be sure. That's purple. Interesting. Is this an entry? Star. Interesting. Yeah, it's too bad that we get so many purple ones. But I know it's not bullish. So if you thought it was bearish and you just needed confirmation, it can't be bullish until you get above this. So you could technically short with a very small risk and be okay. But I don't really have a way to get a trigger there. This one gets retraced, so now I have to get up there to be bullish. And now I have to beat this to be bullish. And beat this. So I can just stay short, basically, if I would have caught it. Okay, now I still haven't gotten it above purple. Now that's pink. So it's a good sign, but I need to hold above that. And I do. So do I have a bull signal on 24? I do. Right? The plus sign. So does this continue? It does. All right, very similar to the other one. So still bullish as long as that holds. Now we have a star. So to be bullish, I need to be above that. And to be bullish, I need to be above that. So it's probably bearish. So I guess we could wait till we get into this to be sure. And we do. So do I have a bear signal? I do. Nice. Star triangle down in bear territory. If it's bearish, I can take that trade. Now I'm guessing this goes lower. Yep. Stay short, stay short. Oh, this works even better. That's cool. Stay short. Okay, so here's a spot we might want to take some profits if we get above this with VPOC. And we close bearish, so not bullish. So to get bullish, we have to be up here. So I guess I can probably short if it goes lower. Ah, it doesn't. Interesting. Okay, so now don't be bearish. So get out of the short, but I still haven't beaten this. Oh, I've got to start down. And I got above it with the pink bar. That's if this wasn't pink, it'd be a buy. Now it's a buy. Is this pink triangle up under the channel? Yeah, it gives you a little bit. Okay. Here. Oh, it's very close. And then bullish if I get above that with VPOC, which we do. But this is not an entry here, right? Yeah, it's too late. So would have been an entry on the 15, but not on the 24. And then it has to hold, VPOC has to hold that star. So you get a little 10-point move, but that's it. And then doesn't give up the star yet. It's got to beat this. Interesting, 2 stars. So whichever side it goes to is where we go. That's purple though. So it's probably bearish. It's got to beat that to be bullish. Now it's got to beat that to be bearish. And we need one more to be sure. Yeah, it's probably bearish. Definitely bearish. And that one was a little late for star triangle down. But that's because of this choppiness. If this wasn't purple, that would have triggered us earlier. And honestly, you probably, if you see that it's bearish and you were already looking for bearish opportunities, you probably could take it. We knew it wasn't bullish, that's for sure. Okay, this one gets retraced, but no VPOC above, still not bullish. Now, to be bullish, I really need to get above that, I guess. So I'm not looking to buy this. That's interesting. Okay, but now, to be bearish, I need to be up under that. I mean, I guess it's bullish. Interesting. Nope. Does not get me up above a purple bar. If I'm above that, it's bullish. Sorry about the jet. They fly around now. If I go below that, it's bearish. Okay, below that, but it's purple, so let's see if it continues. It does. Now do I have an entry on the 24? Triangle down. Something. Does it work? It does. Wow, he's coming back for a second pass. Sorry. Okay, so gotta be above this. Are we below the star up? That's bearish. Yeah, same thing basically. Still bearish. Oh, interesting. He retraced. So I guess as long as I'm not below that. So if I get a triangle up that's not pink, is it bullish then? I guess it must be. Okay, but that was pink. So now bearish if I break that with VPOC. I think that's bullish. It's just a star. Let me just see. Does it continue? It does. Cool. That's neat. Okay. Yeah, it's just because this, I wasn't sure. If it wasn't for this retrace, it'd be obviously bullish here. But the fact that it's pink means that it can't be bearish unless it got under it. And technically that's what the star means too. But you can see that they can get under it in the next bar, so you really want to see what the next bar is. We had a star down here. Did we get above that with VPOC? No. So bigger picture, probably bearish. So yeah, definitely bearish unless we get above this. That's probably just a short, honestly. Yeah, and I know it's purple, but I bet you anything this is a short. And yeah, star triangle down. And the very next bar on the 15 confirms it. And now see they retrace this, so I'm not bullish unless they get above this pink. And that's pink as well, so that's really not anything. I guess I'd get out, but wait. Yeah, see, they can't get a bullish bar above it. If they get a bearish bar, oh, and it's a star. So it can't be bullish unless it gets above that on a bull bar. Pink still. Nothing. There. Bullish. Star. Plus. Does it go higher? Oh, that one fails. Okay. They're not all going to work. Okay, so now bearish right here. At least you'd know right there at 24.75. So you would not take anywhere near a full stop. You'd get in here. Oh, whoops, sorry. You'd get in here. It would go nowhere, and you could get out and flip short right there, and you'd know it's going lower. Cool. That's nice. Okay, so here, it's only bearish if it gets under that, right? So by the time you've gotten 2 bars, it can't get under it in 1 bar. So I'm thinking that's bullish. Is that a bull signal? No, I guess not. It doesn't. Oh, I see. It's got to actually print a bull bar, because otherwise it can just try star down and then go lower. Okay, so you need a white bar on the 15 tick. That's fine. So this would have been fine if this was white. All right. So now, this is always interesting. So basically, whichever side gets extension, so it should be bearish, because now you have to get over this to be bullish. Is this a short? It's just a star. Do I just get short? Looks that way. It's clearly short. Wow. I wouldn't have thought of shorting this, but the 15 tick says short. Let's see. Ah, interesting. So it doesn't do much because it didn't set up here. Okay. Uh, did I get above this? I did. So if I hold above that, it's bullish. Um, and is this an entry? Not really. Does it hold? Purple needs to come back. No, it's bearish. So it can't get over this, right? Assume it's bearish now. Oh, it's coming back again. It hasn't set up yet, right? No signal. Maybe triangle up, triangle. The risk reward is awful there. I don't know why I would take that, but I've been known to do it, but I'm not supposed to. But it's interesting that if you just guess that since it's not bullish, it must be bearish, you can definitely get yourself into those situations. So if I guess I should only I should only do that if I'm actually in position to get good risk reward. Otherwise, this is a location down here that I'd only really be looking long. So I need to get over the purple bar. Okay, that's fair. And that's there. Okay, so that should be bullish. Nice. Plus. That's got to be good. Please. It gives me 10 points. Again, I've got resistance here. I don't know if I would have actually taken that, but it's okay. That it's good enough to find on the 15 tick. That's good enough. Let's see. So do I get under this? Oh, and then again, star down means I have to get over that. And this is the location I want to short. So if I was going to guess, it would be the next bar is bearish and I can short there. And do I have an entry here? Just a star. So I could probably wait until this one. And now it's confirmed. Clearly bearish. Okay, so even if I took this and like got 10 points, I'd get out of it right there. It's not break even, but it's like a 10-point win on half and then like a 5-point loss on the other one and then flip because it clearly said bearish, like no question by here. And technically my stop would normally go here and my entry for the long would be here. So even if this one like didn't work, you wouldn't lose a full R and then you'd get it back and then some. Cool. And it does not say to cover. This one actually got retraced, so you'd have to get above the star. And so here you have to be careful, right? Because whatever it's going to go is probably the direction it's going to go. So looks like it's probably down. Needs a non-purple bar to the downside. There. So now it's definitely bearish. It appears. It's, like I said, I don't know if I want to short down here. I do not have an entry signal, but if there was any question that it was bullish, it's not. Well, I guess I could have. Okay, now I got to get up that, and I'm only bearish if I'm below that. So probably get out of the short. That's pink. That doesn't count, apparently. That is it. So, no, but look, I've got resistance here. Interesting. I don't know how problematic that is. Is there a setup here? Not yet. It looks like it might work though. So I see. So this resistance, we ran into it. And that's why they pulled back a little bit. Would it have gotten you short? It says only long if you get above this. And then you do. So even if you took the long and got spooked, you'd get back in. And now, we haven't retraced all of it yet. Could still not work. Yeah, see, they run into it. Interesting. And now if it gets under this, I want to flip. Oh, that's purple. Yeah, don't flip. The VPOC's not above it though, so gotta wait. There. Once again, like the same spot is signaling again. At least now we've retraced some of it. But this is the problem with, I guess, with entering right into an unretraced purple bar, is you're gonna get this nastiness. Now, did this even set up though? Ah, I got above a star. Okay, that's a decent trade. And it's got to hold above that. It does. Sweet. It looks like it's going to work. And so now, if I get below this pink bar with a bear bar, I want to be out. Okay, that's a purple bar. It's probably good enough because now I gotta be above that. Is this a short signal? It looks like it might be. Yeah. Even I think two purple bars is probably, if you're at location, it's probably good enough. Because look, this is like I would already know that I want to be short here. I don't know if I'm right, but that's technically the short. But now my risk reward's not great. On the 24 tick, that's the problem. Is like you end up missing a lot of these little scalps because by the time you get clear confirmation, it's kind of too late. It depends on the rotations, but lately, today there was plenty of movement. But so you know you're not bullish unless you get above that. And there's no stars down here or unretraced pink or purple. So I guess it's just going lower. Yep. And you'd stay short. This is the part I like is like for managing the trade. Like I would never even dream of holding it this long, but if you can't close above a purple bar, it's not here. So now exit and prepare to long if they get above it. Okay, it's pink, so you might want to wait to make sure that they hold it. Yeah, and that's probably enough. Is do I if I wait? No, we said it wasn't. We needed one more. Yes, now it's enough. So now if the 24 tick is triggering long, I can get long. And it does. Right here. Yep, 634. Yeah, I mean you're a point late by the time you hit the button, but waiting it probably improves your win rate a lot because you know just after this is printed, you have confirmation. And that looks like I think it's going to work. Looks like it's going to work. Yep. Oh, and look, purple bars unretraced act as resistance. So maybe just put a sell order in there. And now I can't be bullish unless I get above this. So probably out. And that looks bearish, I guess. So if I have purple, a set of purple, and it's bearish, like higher time frame, and that purple acts as resistance, that triangle down is probably a short. And it's here too. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Didn't know that. So, all right. So here, to be bearish, I got to be below that. And to be bullish, I got to be above this. So if I was short, I'd probably get out. And nope, not yet. Oh, it's so close. It's pink. Did I get anything here? Pink above purple. So I guess wait. Yeah, yay. Yay for waiting. Cool. Okay. So now I need to get below this. Oh, and it's a star. So I can't be bullish unless I'm above that. So that's bearish. And triangle up, triangle down. Again, poor risk reward. I'm not supposed to take those trades. It looks really bearish. I'm pretty sure it works. A little bit. Okay, and then can't be bullish unless I get above this. Oh, so close. Nope. Oh, once again, that's great. I'm very happy to see that. That it doesn't quite trigger me in. Look at that. Look how close that is. Oops. Doesn't quite trigger me bullish. And so technically, if you were short, I guess you can wait. Otherwise, I guess if you thought it was bearish and there's an entry signal here, you could probably take it. And there's no pink bars in the way or stars. All right, so now, oh, this one's already retraced. Interesting. So, but it can't be bearish unless I get under that. Yeah, so that's got to be bullish, right? I actually don't know. What happens here? Oh, interesting. So just being above pink doesn't necessarily mean bullish. It just means you can't confirm bearish until you get under it. All right, so, oh yeah, and then this acts as a purple. So if you didn't know here, you'd know now that you have to get above that star with a bull bar, which you don't. In fact, that's a bear signal. And no, and I mean, this is a good entry, but risk reward's poor. Yeah, just don't mess with that. saying that for myself because I take those trades and then I'm frustrated with like losing 10 points when my expectancy was like 4. uh, all right, so we have to get above this, but we can't get below that body of the star. So it's pink again. So it's probably bullish, but we need a white bar. And if we get under this, it's bearish. Oh, bearish. Do we have a bear entry here? Triangle down. Cool. That's probably going to work. And see, that's actually a breakdown. So rather than taking this with an expectancy here, take the breakdown on the once you get the confirmation here, the breakdown right there is way better. If you're going to do it, if you're going to momentum trade, do it right, is what I need to learn. So stay short. We can't get over a purple bar. Stay short. Okay, now be cautious. We still can't get over a purple bar. And we actually retrace them. So, like I said, I've actually been adding here. And I know that's, sorry, Simon. It's really aggressive, but it seems to work. Because they've retraced it. And so my chance, once this prints, I know it's just momentum trading, but once this is printed with a wick that covers all the purple here, I know, well, this one's got a star, I guess. So here you're bullish if you get above this, so maybe not so smart. But if it wasn't for the star, you wouldn't be bullish unless you got all the way up there. So as long as that's not, see, when it's purple, your stop goes right there. So I'm comfortable adding because I've got a very small stop now. Because if I get a bar up here, as long as it's not pink, I can exit. And then when it does this and retraces it, I can just like put my target way far down because, yeah, like now it doesn't even have any risk of flipping here. Yeah, see, you'd have to hold it. Once it retraces, you'd have to be okay holding it. So I guess if it does this, this is frustrating, but I suppose if I added here and it wicked like this, I'd probably have to exit for a profit with the addition because now I can't have my stop so close. My stop has to go in a regular spot again because I no longer have that reduced risk. So, damn. Okay. I guess that's not smart. Well, I've gotten away with it and I hadn't thought about that. So, that's why I shouldn't come up with my own ideas. So, glad I figured it out before I got hurt. So, here, technically, if you got over this with a V pockets bullish, that would be your line in the sand, and you don't. So, that is where it's bearish. And again, I doubt this is a short. It's just a breakdown. So I guess you could do it, but I don't think it's a good idea. But it's technically bearish. Oh, wait. It's not under the pink. Yeah, not bearish unless you get under this. Just not bullish. That's right. See, that is a very important distinction. Because here, like I said, there's no reason to short this to target that. It's a horrible idea. And when this holds, and that's a bull bar, right? After testing it, any bar after this that basically that's bullish is going to give me a long. If it wasn't pink, it'd be better, but another one. If this one isn't pink, nope, that one's pink too. So by here, at this point, I have strong conviction that it's bullish. Because look, I've got no purple bars or down stars until all the way up here. So this is the first spot that I even have to be worried. And well, it doesn't mean we're always going there, but like by the time I get above the purple bars and above the star down in particular, and I haven't gotten VPOC underneath the pink bar, it's clearly bullish. And on this time frame, we have double pink and then a white bar, which is an excellent entry. And so even with the star down here, it says, well, now you know that it's bearish if you get under that. So you can move your stop up, right? But it's bullish. and it stays bullish as long as we don't take out one of those. Now we got to make sure we don't get a bearish bar under that, and we don't, so it's still bullish. And now if we get a bearish bar under that body, we want to be out. Nope. Oh, okay. So now if we get another bearish bar, it's probably done. It would be best if it wasn't purple, to be sure. And we really can only have a add or another buy if we get above that. And now that's bearish. And here, nothing. So here it's bearish, right? Oh, we didn't get under the unretraced star. Just missed it. Not bearish. Wow. Tricky. I didn't see that. We have not fully retraced the star bar, so that still counts as a pink bar. I need to get VPOC below that. Yeah, that's the part I didn't know about before today. I knew this about the pink and purple bars, but it just seemed like it sometimes worked and sometimes didn't. And now I think I got it figured out. It's because of these stars that the bodies are basically just like pink and purple bars, which is fascinating. So here, we're not above purple. So I don't think I want to do anything here, but it's definitely not bearish. Yeah, see, that's why you don't buy up here. That's what I'm trying to practice. Don't get FOMO. So now we've retraced this purple, right? So there's really no place to get long, like, at all. There's no, like, place to set up a trigger. The only thing that could happen is these pink bars could hold. And then maybe I could get a long. Other than that, it's get underneath the pink. Oh, that one's been retraced already. So where is the short? That one, I don't know, actually. I assume it's short. Nope, it's not. Because there's no trigger. So there's just nothing to do. Okay, I'm okay with that. So just wait until you have an unretraced star or pink bar. Now we have an unretraced purple. So now we have a place where we can get bullish right there. And if that's an entry, you can just enter. And it is. Triangle down, triangle up. And that's back in the middle of the channel. It's much better than buying up here. And on the bigger time frame, it's, yeah, right in the middle of the channel. That's so much better. Beautiful. So that's the momentum trade you want. I want. Okay, now I got to get above that or hold it. Hold above it. So, in other words, no VPOC under that on the bear bar. So, I just missed it. Now definitely not bullish. I have no stars or pink bars to trigger me short. That's too bad on this time frame. So, bullish if I get above that. Otherwise, just wait. Bullish if I get above this. I guess at this point it's clearly bearish. Did I have a pink bar way back here? Okay. That's the part that sucks, is if I follow something like this, I'm going to miss a lot of trades. But, like, having 2 or 3 stops with at least 4 entries so far, like, that did work, I mean, that's, on a day like this, that's pretty good. Particularly in the spots where it's not clear. Okay, so can't get under pink. Right? So bullish. Did it get above this? Yes, bullish. So this is a buy immediately. And you have a purple bar here for your target, right? And you can't close the VPOC on a bullish bar above it. And now you printed a pink bar, so if you get under this, it's bearish. And it is. But you have your target down here. Not that big. What about this time frame? Bearish. No pink bars. Probably runs right through it. Okay, it flips. So now I need to get into that. So if I took one contract off, nice. I could keep it on now. Because now I got to get above that to be bullish. And above that. Oh, frustrating. Now I'd have to get below this to be bearish. Stay below that. It is below that, so stay below that. And it is. It does. Pink doesn't count, but now it's not bullish unless, I mean, not bearish unless it gets under that, and not bullish unless it gets under above that. So basically, nothing to do. This is last time this happened. It just chopped back and forth. So let's see if that happens again. So see, that's pink. So nothing. Yeah, that's helpful. And see now, this is the under trace zone. So now that's probably going to be a test. And then see, you can't be bearish until it gets under this. And that's purple. Okay, now it's under it, but it's purple. And it's still under it, purple. Now it's confirmed bearish. So did I have a better? Oh yeah, much clearer here. So star up, got under it with bear. If that had a triangle down, it would be a short. Okay, so just unfortunate that we had so many purple bars. Got to get above that. Got to get above that. Oh, got to get below that to be bearish. So probably bullish. Did it get above this? Not on a non-purple, non-pink. Still pink. Okay, now it's bullish. What does this look like? Yeah, that's an entry. Okay, cool. And this one's done? Did that? Yep, it got retraced. We have this, though. So I'd probably take my first profit in here, like that. And then hold runners, I guess. But look, we got under a pink, so if we get VPOC under the pink, it's bearish. Right there. So out of the long, short, triangle down. On the bigger time frame, it hasn't even set up yet, but you can see you got triangle up already. So triangle down would be a short on the higher time frame. But yeah, when I'm definitely getting a feel for this. Yeah. And especially if you're looking short, you know, you can probably be a little bit more aggressive, but I really like how it's going to keep me for like honest down here, not like guessing like, oh, maybe this is the low. Um, it, it means I will probably miss a lot of lows, but I think it'll help a lot. Okay, so got under a pink bar with a VPOC? Yes. So for that moment, it's still bearish, but then we have another pink bar. So now we have to get under that to stay bearish. So I'd probably exit the short and look. Let's see. To get long, you need to first get above purple. So normally this is a trap back in, and I'd look to get long right away, but I'm gonna see if it would be smarter to wait, like I'm learning. Look at that. Now I got get above that to be long, to be bullish. Now I got to get below that to be bearish. So again, it might just be chopping, and it's just better to do nothing. Okay, that's a pink bar, so I have to hold that on a pullback. There we go. Bullish, right? And now, is this a long on the 24? Yes. Plus bar that visited underneath the channel. Does it work? Oh, it doesn't work. They're not all going to work. That's too bad. So that got me long where? I want to see where I would have known that it was wrong. Okay, so on the 24 tick, oh, it doesn't trigger for a long time on the 24 tick. That's the problem. So on the 15 tick, it triggers me way down here, but it's not necessarily an entry on the 15. I need a triangle. So let me just see. Does it set up either way? Because it says bullish, but there's not actually an entry here. So bearish if I get... No, I'm sorry. Needs to get VPOC above the body of the star to be bullish. Oh, and it can't. Now it needs to get above this to be bullish with VPOC. Yeah, on a non-pink bar. Now it needs to get under that to be bearish. So it is just chopping on the 15 tick. And so that's not an entry because it's pink, and I have not gotten a non-pink bar above the purple bar. So that protects me from this entry. See, on the 15 tick, it said bullish here, but then bearish and not bullish yet. And so here confirms bearish. That is an entry on the 15 tick. Triangle up, star, triangle down. It's bearish. That is a good short. What does it look like here? Yeah, that's nice. So it's super early. I haven't even gotten the triangle down. I assume it's going to give a triangle. Yep. So it's getting me 6 points early, short. Which means if I did take this long, it's actually getting me out with like a 10-point stop rather than a 25-point stop or something like that, if I made that mistake. So that's cool. So it's bearish, but there's unretraced pink down here, right? So that's probably where I want to take profits. Oh, technically this is all pink too. So expectancy might not be very good. Yeah. Oh, and this is also pink. So all of those have the potential to bounce. So maybe not the best short, but bearish, not bullish. And not surprisingly, it's just chopping in here. Okay, so to be bearish, it needs a VPOC below that on a non-pink or purple bar. And now it needs a VPOC below that to be bearish. And to be bullish, I got to get it above this body of the star with a non-pink bar. And it's not happening. And there's nothing to do. So it's just chopping, purple bar, nothing to do. There, bearish. Underneath the pink, underneath the star. And now I've cleared this. So, oh, but I still have some unretraced. So is this an entry on the 24? Whoops, it went too far. Yeah, this is the triangle down. Ah, so the triangle down doesn't actually happen until here. Nice. So again, if you use the 15, that's so backwards from what I used to do. So 15 to confirm sentiment, 24 to give me the entry. Wow, interesting. And then that is the better entry. Huh. Like I said, it's backwards than what I would think. But it's like, it precisely tells you whether or not you should be bullish or bearish. But then the entry, if you wait for it on the 24, your win rate improves. You can take it on the 15, but it might not work. Not bearish unless it gets under this. Not bearish unless it gets under that. So it's probably bullish. Oh, but it's technically got a purple. I didn't see that. You can't be bullish unless you get a VPOC above that. If it wasn't for that purple bar, I'd probably just long it. So, okay, and now it's got to get above this to be bullish. So does that mean it's, I guess, not necessarily bearish? It needs a non-purple bar to be bearish. Yeah, so it can kind of mess around in here. Yeah. Ooh, interesting. Got above the purple on a bullish bar that's not pink. That's bullish. Is it an entry on the 24? It is, although this one was here. Oh yeah, that's perfect. 62. Nice. Does that work? Oh, cool. Okay, I'm okay with that. I mean, if I can catch that and not trade this, that works for me. Interesting. And then again, the part I love the most is I don't need to cover until I get underneath a pink or underneath a star's body with VPOC. So I'm still in the trade because look, VPOC on a bear bar didn't get underneath the body, and then it got underneath it and it closed bullish. So I literally have no reason to exit. That's cool. And then not until it gets under that. Oh, now I can slide my stop up again. Okay, now it can't be bullish unless I get it above that. So if I get a bear bar, I'm out. Nope. And it needs a non-pink bar to be confirmed, but not bearish unless it gets under this. Okay, bullish. I mean, that's a breakout. You could probably just buy it. It's probably wrong, but yeah, look at that. You can just add. Okay. I mean, that's dangerous. Don't do that. Okay, so now we need to be above this to be bullish. So if they put a bear bar in again, it's over. There. It's done. So now it's bearish because it got under a pink bar. Oh, wait, this one's been retraced. It might not count. Darn. Well, I definitely don't want to be long unless it gets above this. Is there a bear entry here? There is. Does it work? Kind of. A little bit. I think it's definitely better if it's not been retraced. Okay, so can't be long until I get above that. With VPOC, it's very close. Ah, that's pink. So thankfully we've retraced these, but we need a white bar. And we get it. Now, what does the 24 look like? No entry. Darn. This is not good enough. It needs a triangle up. Okay, that's fine. So skip it, I guess. Or it probably just won't go very far because it's got a purple bar in the way. Yep. Look at that. That's resistance. Wow. So you can technically do it all in here. You just have to be a lot more aware. Uh, okay, so now, even though it was bullish, it never set up long on this time frame or the 24. And now if it gets another bear, it's going to be short. There. So now it's bearish. Let's see if we get a entry. We do. Triangle down. So that one looks like a bear. A sell. Wow. Okay. Excellent. Okay, so now don't be bullish unless it gets above this. Oh, it's got a star, so it's like a pink bar. But yeah, we never got above it with VPOC on a bull bar. So still bearish as long as we stay below that. Still bearish. Okay, it's now it needs to stay below this. So I'm definitely not bearish. But I need a white bar above that to be bullish. Like that. Now, is that an entry here? Yep. Star triangle up. Does that work? Yeah. Barely. Just barely. Okay. I mean, I've got resistance here. Oh, and once again, it's a purple bar. Jeez. Unretraced purple. Acts as resistance. Okay. I'm just going to have to watch for that, I guess. That's annoying. All right. So can I get above this? No. So probably bearish. If I get below this with VPOC on a bear bar, it's a short. It's purple, so it's not confirmed. That is. So now bearish. Is this a sell? Yes. Triangle up. Does that work? Yeah. Okay. Excellent. So bullish above that. Pink bar. Pink bar. Gross. There. Okay, so now it's bullish. Is this an entry? Yep. Star triangle up. Does that work? It runs into resistance because it's got a purple bar. Yeah, right here. So it's not wrong, but that's your exit. I bet you anything. Oh my god. Wow. Jeez. Oh, sorry, Bryce. I missed your comments here. Hold on. I got a little bit. I was geeking out on this new idea. So, yeah, it's just a new idea. That's what I'm testing the idea. I haven't done it live yet, but I realized today that if you're unsure, like whether or not you should be bullish or bearish, it should be a pretty good filter. You're gonna miss trades though. That's the problem. If you do it that way, if you do it only when you get that confirmation, you're gonna miss trades. So I haven't tried actually trading that way, but there were a lot of spots today where I hesitated and I was like, I don't know if I'm bullish, I don't know if I'm bearish. And by the time like I saw the entry, I just like couldn't push the button because I didn't want to short. And then it would like drop 40 points and I'm like, geez, how could I have like been more confident with that? And what I realized is particularly on the 15 tick, but also on the 24, but the smaller tick charts in particular, if you can get VPOC on a white bar, on a bull bar, above either a purple bar or the body of a star down, it's any long setups have a better chance of working. Let's put it that way. It's more likely to be bullish. What it won't tell you is whether or not you have good risk reward to resistance. So that is kind of the frustrating part. Is there seems to be a lot of situations where like I could have probably gotten 10 points if I just got in when I normally get in, but if I wait for this confirmation, it doesn't come until I'm so close to resistance that I end up missing trades. But it might be a good like thing to practice for like not necessarily all the time, but for situations where I'm just not even sure if I should be trading, or I don't know where to decide whether or not I'm long or short. So I'm honestly not planning on doing this all the time, but I kind of wanted to see how it would have worked today. And it doesn't work all the time. but it definitely keeps me out of tricky situations. And it's not hard to implement. The hard part is not getting frustrated when you don't get your entry till or your signal till there, and then you go to the 24 tick, and you just missed the entry. Now it might still trigger. See, look, if you got in 48.25, yeah, see, you'd get notified here, and so you could enter on this pullback right there, because here you knew it was bearish. You just on the 24 tick, for me, if I'm bearish, I can short star triangle down, but I had this resistance or support here that I really don't want to trade into. And usually by the time I get here, I'm like, well, I guess I missed it. But it's kind of showing me that it's actually confirmed that it's bearish. So I can short any of this and it's usually going to melt down. So that's the kind of spot that, like, I don't know. I get frustrated because, especially when it looks like this, when it's like, should I be bullish? Like, that's an apex trap. Maybe I should wait for a triangle. And then it's like, by the time I'm deciding that, like, wow, this really isn't very bullish, like, it'll trigger you into a short, and then it'll flip you, like let's say like here, I'd be thinking like, wow, this clearly is not bullish. And then if I'm like, well, I don't want to make a bad mistake, so I'll wait for the 24 tick to set up, and like it just goes, and I'm like, I missed the whole damn thing. Or it'll give you like, I don't know, a little wiggle and then lift, and that's frustrating. So it really doesn't happen that much on the 24 tick. You don't have to worry about it too much, but this action is frustrating for me because, like, if I'm thinking long, I might take this, and then I'm thinking that it didn't work, so it must be short, and so then I might take this, triangle up, triangle down, and then see Simon take this and like tilt. So instead, the way to handle that is, if I'm not sure if I should even be looking long, I can just go to the 15 tick and say, well, I know I need a white bar above a purple bar, with a VPOC above a purple bar before I can even be bullish. And so that shows up here. This is a perfect example where it's like, okay, so at 63, it says if you get an entry, you can take it. And that gets me this, right? And so I could be, it could look long, but if I kept looking at the 15, I'd see a pink bar get beat by a bear bar, and I'd be like, wait, nope, it's short. And so I only lost like 10 points, and then I can get short. And I could be ready for a short, I should say. It doesn't necessarily set up. But, yeah, and get my 10 points back. And then I'd know to get out when I can't get under this or under this. But it wouldn't tell you to get long until you got above that. So you would know here at 63.50, which is just a little late, right? I mean, you could still take it, in my opinion. It's just a couple points late. But like I said, it at least doesn't let me take a full stop here, and then, or sorry, a full stop here, and then a full stop on the short, which is what I tend to do. Is like, I get hesitant at the wrong time, and then overcommit at the wrong time. So I was trying to look for a way to not do that. And while it's not gonna keep me from getting stopped out, it's gonna make me know very quickly that I'm on the wrong side. And it also seems to help with this, where, like I said, wouldn't necessarily know, should I be taking an apex? Well, I guess that's not an apex trap, but here, like I may like convince myself that I can take an apex trap here and then take a full stop, and then like if it sets up again with like the plus sign, I'd be like, okay, I can maybe get my money back, and like I may or may not, right? And instead, if I just identify that, well, I'd have to get above this, and then no, I'd have to get above this, and then, when I do, and it's like, okay, now I can go here and see, oh yeah, that's an entry, so I can take it, right? It's a more conservative way, is my thought. I I haven't extensively tested it, but it's something I noticed today that like if you use the particularly the bodies of the stars and the pink and purple bars, and you just wait for VPOC to get beyond it and hold it, that the choppy stuff gets easier. It's particularly for the choppy things, the choppy action. So I can go to another one. I do all the time. I frequently enter on a pink and purple bar. But what this is, the trouble with that, with this setup or this idea, is you would only know that you've like overcome the so if it's bearish like this, right, it looks bearish, and you put a purple line on the purple bar, and you got VPOC above that on a pink bar, it's hit or miss whether or not it's going to work, because I'm not going to go into why, but it just doesn't always work. But what will work is if you pull back and then get a pink bar, and the pink bar so if this never breaks, or you never get VPOC below it, like that, right? And then you get a pink bar, totally good. It doesn't here. But if there would be a pink triangle right here, like after getting over the purple bar, it's okay. Oh, but here you had a purple bar here, so it wouldn't apply here. I could find it. You know what? The other spot it's going to work better is if you have bigger range, so you don't have as many purple bars to worry about. So like here, there's no purple bar until way up here, right? So what Simon teaches, and it makes sense, is there's an apex here. We have an apex trap. Price continued higher. Chances are, if it's bullish on the higher time frame, it's getting ready to lift. What we don't know is it going to go straight up, or is it going to wiggle around in here for a while? And what I'm finding is if there's a purple bar nearby that you haven't retraced, it's potentially going to act as resistance. And in that case, you're probably going to get another triangle later anyway, that will potentially like be more, you could be more confident with it. So once you've cleared the purple bars, then the pink triangles work beautifully. But if there's purple bars in your way, like this, purple bar is not fully retraced, that pink bar is probably going to run into trouble, right? And this one won't necessarily work because you could be running into resistance on another time frame or whatever. It doesn't mean the second one will always work, but particularly the first one, if you have a purple bar, is going to potentially cause problems. But like here's a perfect example. The first unretraced purple bar is way up here. So is there anything wrong with taking that pink bar? No, as long as you don't mind getting out there, then it's totally cool. If it's a non-pink bar, the chance that you're going to lift relatively quickly is much higher. And the reason why Simon wants us to get over purple bars is actually because if you've already overcome them, then you have a better chance of getting that 10 to 15 points. But if you do your research, the truth is what really matters isn't so much that there's purple bars down here. It's where are the purple bars in the range that you're trying to get back to, because that's probably your target. So it's fine if the purple bars are only down here, right? Now pink triangles are going to work just fine because my target is here. Doesn't mean it's going to stop, but it's probably going to like have to wrestle with it for a bit. But the fact that I've already cleared out these purple bars with wicks from before is going to make this pink bar more likely to work. And so the like the cheat code that I was trying to figure out makes yeah, yes, yeah, right, yeah, and that uh, we've been working on it together for a while, and I yeah, that's what you want to hear. Let me find that. That's on the 24 tick. Uh, it's a perfect example of here. Is it this one? So my data looks a little bit different. Yeah, 1545. That must, is that central? Yeah. So my data looks a little bit different than his. Let me just try recalculating. I think he didn't recalculate. But on the the picture he put in there, the purple bars were all on the bottom, and then there was like 10 non-purple bars. Um, Hold on. Okay. So here, the pink bar works despite the purple bars, right? So if you tried to use the idea that I was talking about on the 24 tick, you wouldn't know for sure that it's bullish until here, and then it's kind of too late, right? But if you're going down to a smaller time frame, I guess here you really wouldn't know for sure until you're here, and then right there. So it would be 37.25. Yeah, it's still a bar late. So, but you get confirmation. I think honestly the way I will probably use this is uh, I'll still take the entries that I always take, because I expect some of them to stop. You know, like if I've got good expectancy, I'm fine if this stops sometimes. But if I can get confirmation on the smaller time frame at like within 5 or 10 points that like this could keep going, it might keep me more like leveraged in the trade. So like managing the trade, and then definitely like for trailing my stop, it seems to work really well once you know which direction it's going, because then here I know once we get under that pink bar, even though it's purple, I can get out because I know now I can only be bullish if I get VPOC back up there. So in that, like, I might not want to short yet, but I probably don't want to be long anymore. So I could almost hold like the majority of my position. Maybe take a little bit off early, but hold a lot more. Here, but like here, this is another really good spot to use the pink bar, right? Purple got over it already. So yeah, you might get stuck there, but the pink bar is not going to matter here. But just to simplify things, I said I want to get the VPOC on a non-pink bar above the purple bar, because when it starts to get choppy, uh, the pink and purple really aren't that meaningful. Like where they're, uh, where the VPOC is on those bars are not that meaningful. But when it's moving so much, like it doesn't take a lot of energy just to build another bar, and that's all I need for those 10 points. So like even here, I guess what I'm saying is, if I got an entry here, right, and I thought it was bullish for one reason or another, like I'm probably still going to take it, but it looks to me like I'd probably have to take profits a little early, uh, like because there's a chance that this could be resistance. But once that's been cleared and I see this triangle, I can actually add it back here. So yeah, I'm not necessarily suggesting that I'm going to filter all my trades through this idea, but I just want to know, like, what if I did? Like, would I get anything? So yes, exactly. And that's usually how it works, is if you just mark off the unretraced range of the purple and pink, we just had to break through it. And then where this idea came from was I noticed once you get over a pink or a purple, if you can't get VPOC back down there, it's bullish. It really can be purple or pink. You just now, once see here, we got VPOC above a pink bar. To be bearish, I need the VPOC on a bear bar to be under that. And that bear bar can't be purple. So it means you could technically aggressively enter, but for sure you don't want to be bearish unless you get under this. Right? So it doesn't necessarily help me find entries, but I think it makes it very clear which side of the market I should be on, and or maybe which side I shouldn't be on. Maybe that's a better way to say it. Yeah, I think once you do break above the purple, the easiest way to add, so get in here and you see this. If we can't get VPOC down here, it's still bullish. And if it's pink, it means we just have to get VPOC to stay above that. So once this prints, right, and especially once this prints, because technically this is purple too, so that could have caused problems. That pullback, when this holds, you don't even have to wait for this one to print. You just want to see them support this, right? Because a VPOC below this is going to make it bearish. So if I can enter here with a stop like there, wherever the VPOC would be, if or the bar would close if it was bearish, right? Like almost like a super trap, sort of. Like you don't necessarily wait for the last bar to print, but I want to see that they are holding VPOC above purple and pink bars. That's what I notice. Because the exact opposite happens when it's bearish. Like once you get purple and pink bars, if you get VPOC under a pink bar, what I notice is like I could just draw that line, and if it can't get VPOC up there and it starts to go lower and VPOC's still stuck here, like I can short, because I already think it's bearish and I know it needs to get above this to be bullish, to not be bearish, I guess. And so it must be bearish. So if I want to wait for the triangle and be more confident, sure. But that, yeah, truly, it's already bearish. It's just a matter of like, in this case, you wouldn't really have risk reward, I guess. But I think you know what I'm saying. And like I said, what's kind of cool is this actually works on higher time frames. So I was looking at the 40 tick, and when this morning, when I was thinking about this, I saw this. We got under it with purple bars, but then when we came back up, we got VPOC nowhere near it, you know, on a white bar. And so once it came back down, it's like, look, VPOC's already dropped all the way down here. It has to get up here. You'd need 2 bars at least to turn this. So it's probably bearish. And those are big bars, right? 40 ticks. And then once it starts going, I can put a purple bar there. I mean, a line on the purple bar. And I'm like, I wonder if it's bullish yet. It's like, well, we need to get the VPOC above that. And they do, but then they print it bearish, right? And so now I know I need to go 40 ticks higher just to attempt to make this bullish. So if I get bear setups here, they're probably going to work. And then here, when they do get it above it, they're pink. So I'm it rather than like for it to be bullish, that needs to hold, right? So once that breaks down, like I should be looking for sell signals. So you could do it the opposite way too. It's just if you the problem with doing it with the higher time frame is that you're going to have a very late notice when it flips. So if you look at like where's the flip? Especially to the upside. You'll miss this most of the time. So like here it said you could be bullish, but you need a setup, right? And so that happened here. 24 tick. Where to go? Oh, it's way back here. So right here, it said, hey, if you get a long setup, it might work, but it doesn't set up, really. And then we get under this pink. Oh, they're purple. Right there. I mean, by the time you got two purples, you need 80 ticks to lift it. But here, you're clearly under pink and under this star. So by here, it says if it gets bearish, you might want to. But look, you've already missed all this, right? But technically, triangle up, triangle down is a bear setup, and that doesn't work, right? Because on the higher one, what ends up happening is you get above it and you hold above it, right? So right here, the 40 tick confirms right here, but by that time, you've missed your entry. So it's like, at first I was thinking that was the way to do it, but then when I tried it, I'm like, that's even more frustrating. It's like it's just reminding me what I should have been doing. So I realized I need to, if I'm going to do something like this, I'm going to have to flip it and use the smaller time frame to mark off the levels, and then wait for it to set up on the higher time frame so that I'm not like getting triggered all the time. Which, like I said, is the opposite of how I thought it would work, but it looks like, especially for the reversals to the upside, they just happen too fast. And even if you wait for the 24 tick, here it worked because this bar lifted it and it wasn't pink. But if it was pink, and then this was pink, and then this was pink, and then this is pink, like you really don't know for sure until here. So that's where it kind of doesn't help, is when you get a bunch of pink bars in a row. All it's really saying is it can't be bearish unless it turns around. But you still need, I mean, you're never going to be sure. And I think that's what it really comes down to, is you got to decide whether or not this is a spot you want to take the risk, because there always is risk. But I was hoping that using the smaller time frame might improve that, like limit some of those, just by being able to say, like, well, if I can get above this with a white bar at 63, like, that might not be perfect, but this bar triggers at 62, and the 15 tick confirms definitely bullish at 63.50. So I'm getting in a point and a half late, right? So I'm maybe risking like $30 per contract more, but my win rate probably explodes. So, like I said, I don't know if I'll use it all the time, but I definitely am going to use it when I'm not sure which direction I should go, when it gets choppy or like rangy, where, because today one of the challenges was they sort of like faked out that it had, and this happens all the time, that it had lifted here, right? This looked, I don't know if you remember this, but this looked pretty convincing. And and this happens. and they just dumped it. And after that, I was sure that this was long. And then this is where I just couldn't short because I was looking at the chart and I was like, it could lift, right? And I mean, from Simon's point of view, there's nothing wrong with this entry. You still got 12 points, right? And you could have gotten more. It might have been the low. So it's an apex trap. It's a triangle with a plus at the fourth channel. There's nothing wrong with it. It just didn't extend, and sometimes it won't. But I was frustrated that I wasn't able to shift to recognize that when it doesn't work, like when am I bearish? And so that's really where I think this will help is to identify right here that it literally can't be bullish anymore. Not only can I get out of that trade with my runners, but this star triangle down can be a short, you know? And then when this holds and you get another star triangle down, it's probably still bearish. So that's where I'm really hoping it'll help, is where I'm just like biased, in the wrong direction. So, yeah. I do. I always have 3 time frames actually. So it depends on the speed, but what I've learned is your win rate's going to be best on the 24 tick. You're anything or higher, but I'm not willing to risk, like you said, like an 80-point stop is not going to happen for me. But the 24 tick is like a small enough stop that I'm able to manage it. If I go smaller, the stops will increase, but the setups will also increase. So there are markets, especially when it's really slow, where like the 24 tick just like doesn't set up very much. And I get bored, honestly, and just kind of distracted because I have nothing to watch and do. And then I miss the good setups because like I've just been waiting around so long that I'm not like paying attention. Whereas the 15 tick keeps me really busy. But you can get kind of tunnel vision if all you're looking at is the 15 tick. So I try to keep the 24 because I know that if it sets up there, my win rate's really good. But on the 15 tick, I can take small trades or at least get a sense of what's happening. And then I always take a look at like some of the higher ones, like Simon like 67. I use 40 and 80 more than anything else. And I literally just look for the same exact setups and ask like, would I be out of that trade? So like on the 80 tick, like if this was a star and then we got triangle down, I'd be like, well, I'd still be holding runners on the shorts. So I shouldn't be I shouldn't be expecting long trades to work very much. And then plus I can mark off big sellers and big buyers on that. And then on the smaller time frame, I don't know if I have them copied. Oh yeah, there it is. On the smaller time frame, I know to look. Let's see. What I don't want to cheat, so I would have known here, right? So that on the bigger time frame, it would trigger here that there's a big seller, even big enough to trigger on the big 80 tick. And so now I might miss this, but I know that this is probably resistance. And if I can get a sell out of here, like star triangle down, I might be more willing to take it, right? Or like these, like I like my little squares that are followed by purple bars or pink bars with triangles, can give like massive extensions if they set up just like this. They're all over the smaller time frames. It's just my own signal. Here's another one. So like once you know the direction and you know the location, like I can just wait for stars triangle down or box triangle down at that location, and it just simplifies things, And you can do that with any time frame, really. You just need to know how, like, how the setups or how the signals kind of work. So here, let me switch this so that it's not so foreign. I think it's this one that everyone. Yeah. So here's the big seller right here on the 67 tick. Okay, and then oh, it's just overlapping. It's the same guy. So, but yeah, I can. Me and Ronnie figured out uh, how this like is best calibrated for now. Simon warned us though that as speed increases, those arrows are going to have to get adjusted. But they're pretty cool because like I can mark even on the small time frame. I can mark it and basically say if he holds, it's not bullish. And so star triangle down coming off of him is a good setup. And then if you break it, so this one is another one, so that's probably going to be resistance if it's still bearish. But if we can break a bull one, I'll find one. Then stars off of that level can also work. But again, it will only be when it's slow. So this level we break. So if we return to that and get preferably star down, if they take it back, it's got to act as resistance. Oh, and then here's another one. I don't know which one's going to work better. This one's got a star right after it, but I really want it to come back and then give a star. Right? No star. It might not work. There. See how it came up, tagged it, star, triangle down? That's usually a pretty good short. See that? Because that buyer, it's like identifying really heavy buy flows. And so he was off sides. It particularly works when they were on sides for a while. So for a bit, he was winning, right? And then suddenly he's off sides. And so it's not surprising when the market comes back to his level that he becomes an aggressive seller. And sometimes it works more than once. Like I might, if I had triangle down after it, I'd probably take that too. And that's not just today. Like in fact, today it didn't work as well as it usually does. Like I can go to any day. Like we'll just go to like a random day. 24. Here, I'm gonna hide these. So we'll just, now if it gets choppy, it's gonna be a little tricky, but we want this and this. So let's see if we can get out of here and then see if the level acts as a support or resistance, preferably with a star. Right there. That'd be my long. Oh, it might not work. There we go. So see how that becomes the lift point? Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's pretty powerful. But watch how, see how this level still can't get breached? And star triangle up, and now big flows to the upside. Now the problem is you've got big flows in your way. So that is a reason not to take that trade, because that's your resistance right there. So you want to get over that to be bullish, if you want to be exact about it. And star, oh, but we had another one down here, so we have to wait. We have to get under that. There. Now star triangle up. Triangle down, sorry. Star triangle down is what we want. Ah, they're not going to give it. We have to go back there. Nope, no star. Right? It's, you want it right here. Nope, they run right through it. Yeah, now I've gotten so many other ones I don't remember where they are. Let me just see if these set up. So I didn't watch very closely. So do these get star up? Triangle up? Right there. This one. So we got behind him. Then aggressive buyer showed up where there was an aggressive seller before. That's what you want. That's the better trade. But only works in slow markets. Yeah. Okay. So if you want setups where you don't need to wait for the triangle, there's there are some, but no matter what, your win rate's always going to be lower. The better way is, I mean, I guess the question is why you don't want the triangle. Um, in my opinion, the better way is just go to a smaller time frame, and then focus on the high odds trades, and they will get you long when the 24 tick is just showing a star or whatever. But if you just take the star, or you just take like the apex trap or whatever, and your win rate will not be as good. It's still okay, but the key to that is location. So if you focus on like the right places to trade, you can do it without the triangle. You can just wait for the apex trades, apex traps. So like here, like if I had this level identified as like unfair pricing, or um, like previous resistance or whatever, and they had a big buyer here that, and they couldn't get VPOC below it, and then they come back, you can stab at it. It's just that if you don't get the triangle, sometimes you're going to get stopped. Okay, you're going to get stopped more often than if you wait for the triangle. Let's put it that way. Yeah. At times that it could. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, um, we used to do a lot of setups that didn't use the triangle, um, but a lot of people got frustrated with the win rate. It wasn't as high, but as you get better at like reading like order flow, and you can kind of like get a feel for momentum, you the key is location, and then not having purple bars in your way. So like even here, if this is an apex trap, I'm not sure it actually sets up. It's very close, but like this is not a bad entry because it's clearly bullish, right? We've pulled back, probably like a 50% pullback. We have a purple bar at the low. We're closing back into this apex, and there's no purple bars for at least a couple bars. So like I can probably get 20 points most of the time. So if I enter early at like 50.25 and put my stop at 36.25, I can probably at least get this, if not that. So I should be able to get 1-to-1 very easily. So you can do it. But every single setup that works like that, if you just wait for the triangle, your win rate will get so much better. We've run the numbers, and we just decided that that's best, because like this looks like a really good trade too, right? So bullish, good pullback. You've gotten over the purple bar already, and your closest, that would be another one that I would probably consider taking early, because the stop is smaller, and you getting 1-to-1 is pretty reasonable. I mean, you just have to know where to exit, right? And then sometimes you're going to get a bounce and continuation. And if you would have waited for the triangle, you don't get 1-to-1. So maybe you have to skip it. So it's not that it can't be done. You just have to be very selective. And what I've found for my style, what works better is actually just taking the trades on the 15 tick and waiting for the triangle at location. And the win rate's really good that way. So let's see. I do add positions. Yeah. Totally guilty of that. So here, let me find a trend day. So let's say I'm trading here, right? And I've got a big seller who gets beat, and then I get star triangle up. I guess it's on the triangle. I'm not sure about that. But let's say I decided to get in there one way or another. If I'm in that trade and it's working, right? The easiest way to add is find pink bars that are unretraced. Probably take some profits because it's above the channel and all that. And if it pulls back and it holds those pink bars and you get a triangle or at least a strong algo signal, you can probably add. So, oh, this one might not pull up enough. That was not, I probably would not have done that. That was pretty tight. But what I want is that. And then I would add, here, this one works. So if I'm still in the trade, I would say, well, I've got an unretraced pink bar here. So I know if that holds, like that, it's probably still bullish. And here I have risk reward as long as I get in now. Could it be bearish? It could be. And so I have to put my stop right there, right? But I've got decent risk reward back to the high. I don't have, I might have divergence. This might not work. Volume's decreasing as price increases. So I probably wouldn't take it, but let's see. This is the kind of trade I might take. Yeah, see, it doesn't quite make it to the high because of the divergence, and then it stops out. And the win rate will be nowhere near the trades that set up down here. That's the problem. Like if you just take the triangle with the plus sign at the bottom of the channel and try to hold at least a runner, yeah, your win rate's going to be way better. You need to be really aware of like momentum measures, but like if you watch divergence and or like you know how to watch the DOM and have a sense for when to get out because it's not going anywhere, there's ways. There's definitely ways. Also, I like watching the time-based developing VPOC, and when it's really like let's say I got in on this apex trap, which would be pretty reasonable. I'd probably wait for the triangle and get in there. I'm above a purple bar, so, and then this one's already been retraced, so my first target's somewhere in here. But if you look at this dotted line, see how we're above it? That's the developing point of control over time. And so that can become support, which can give me good ad spots. So like I might take off some there and then hold runners. But if it pulls back into there, either here or the current one, but the recent one is better, but like, and then bounce like that, I'd probably go ahead and add there. And then my stop now can be moved up to here. Right? And now if it pulls back to here or here, I might, and then bounces, I might be able to add again. No. Doesn't always do it. Let's see. But see, this one could have got you, right? And then you get stopped out. And then it's over. Yeah. So it's, you're going to have probably less than 50-50 with all the momentum trades, no matter what you do. And they have frustrated me for a long time because oftentimes, because I'm looking for those, I miss the really obvious shorts. So, yeah, it's personal preference for sure. But Simon will tell you don't even bother with the momentum trades. But like Etta in the room, like she doesn't talk much, but like on the trend days, she'll post like 30K days or whatever, and it's like, what are you doing? And she's like, if it's bullish, I buy it. If it's pink, and I'm like, oh my god, okay. But she knows how to read the DOM, and you know she can tell the difference. But like, she sees this and just buys it, you know, and then knows better when she buys it and it doesn't go anywhere. She'll just be done, and like she might get in with us down here. Right? And then she'll buy some here and it'll start to pull back and she'll get out. and then she'll get another 3 there and another 3 there and another 3 there. It works for her. I'd probably puke, but it works. But you have to have momentum. That's the thing. And like, if you try that counter trend, it'll destroy you. But like, look at this. Like, if you got in here and you know it's bullish, right? It's like add, 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 add. Now you have like 9 on, and you know that like you don't want it to go under there, right? And now you add. That's not. This is probably not a good spot to add because you're not like increasing momentum. Let's see though. I'm curious. Yeah, see the difference? Like this is like momentum increasing, and then it's kind of gone sideways, and they got a pink bar, and then once that pink bar gets beat, you're done, right? So this one might have stopped maybe, but you got 3, 6, 9, 12 contracts on. Oh, I guess it wasn't done. This one looks good, right? With momentum, breaking out with a pink bar. So, I mean, it's nowhere near 50%, but if you're good at it, it works. But like, I probably wouldn't know to not take that one. And like, I don't think I would have held that, right? But this one looks good. This one might be too far away. Yeah, that one's probably good. Nope. But yeah, I'd say probably 50%. Oh, but then there's divergence that could have kept you away. So if you're good at reading momentum, the pink bars that show up like during a squeeze, if you can identify what that looks like, you can get 10 points pretty easily. Right. Yeah. Me too. Me too. I would much rather like have a gauge for the direction and then like know, okay, I don't want to see it put in volume down here. So if I can get close to that and I get a strong signal, I might take a stab at it. Right. And then sometimes you're going to be able to get an extra 10 points that way. But like I said before, the problem with doing that is you're going to miss shorts most likely because you're going to have a hard time when you're focusing on the dip buying to add. You're going to be thinking about how to manage that trade, and you're going to forget that like, oh, this is a really obvious short. So yeah. And then like I said, once that gets beat, I know I can short with a star and a triangle down. So that's probably a short as well. Because now that aggressive buyer is an aggressive seller. And the triangle just kind of confirms it. And then if it sets up there again, I could do it again. And then here it is again, see? Buyer gets beat, turns into a seller. As long as it's a triangle after that. Yeah, I'd probably get... Yeah, nope, won't get... That's the stop right there. Maybe I will get stopped. Yep. Probably would have gotten 10 and then stopped on the runners. But that's the idea. Anyway. All right. I'm going to go get something to eat. But thanks for sticking around. Hopefully it was interesting. At least like I said, I'm going to play with the new idea with the pink and purple bars and the stars. I don't know how often I'll use it, but I'm hopeful that at least it'll keep me out of situations where I don't know what to do. Because that's what was frustrating is like I saw these setups set up and I didn't know like should I be buying or selling here. So cool. All right. Take it easy. And for anybody else who wants to contact me, this is how you get a hold of me. And if you want to talk to my coach Simon about the algo or the room, trade and perform at gmail.com.